At Washington University's math department, Ivan Horozov's office has been sort of a popular place lately because of his creation.
Last week, almost every day someone comes here and for the purpose of seeing the figure.
He spent months building this thing in his spare time. It collapsed under its own weight a few times before he perfected the construction technique. And without getting too deep into this, it is based upon the dodecahedron, one of the 5 Platonic solids.
Yes, this is the basic shape, and then you glue 12 dodecahedrons on it, and then
it gets complicated.
And this is how the abstract notion of permuting 5 elements is related to the geometric notion of rotating the dodecahedron.
Moving from geometry into algebra, involving rotations, projections, multi-dimensions. This model is actually a 3-dimensional projection of a 4-dimensional regular polytrope. And if you didn't get that far in math, and most of us didn't, consider that Professor Horozov was dreaming about this model when he was a kid, growing up in Bulgaria, and no doubt seeing the world a little differently than most of his playmates. Did you look at a soccer ball and see...
And see a dodecahedron? Yes, yes.
His father was a mathematician, and when young Ivan showed interest, he gave him a book that introduced these concepts. And geometric shapes became his passion. Using ruler and compass, scissors and glue, he began making paper models. These are the pictures of the ones he actually made.
Right. For several years, this was my hobby, and it ended with this figure.
How long did that take to make?
2 months.
2 months. Your father must have been proud. And now, with his own PhD in mathematics, he hasn't lost the enthusiasm that leads him still to spend 2 months building a model. But now that he has, what does he do with it? Well, we'll come back to that question in just a bit. But while we're on the fun with math topic, we'll take a side trip to Manhattan and a place that young Ivan would have loved to visit.
Have here the vertices cut out.
Ivan Horozov was one of those kids who never lost his fascination with the shapes he discovered as a child. It led him to this. Now he's finishing his postdoctoral studies at Washington University, looking to find a job at an American university, but knowing that he can't just roll this thing out the door.
So I have to move it somewhere. I won't be here forever.
Right. So you're going to take it down in pieces and put it...
I think I will disassemble it, not completely, but let's say into 5-10 pieces and move it somewhere and assemble it again.
So he has a problem, but if there's a solution, I'm thinking this is the guy who can figure it out.